Hello and welcome to One Cut. I'm your host, Amber Wisman, and with me today are percussionists Autumn Kelly and Sammi Medina. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So, can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves? We'll start with you, Autumn.
Well, I'm a senior here at Mesa, and I am double majoring in percussion performance and music business.
And what about you, Sammi?
I'm doing the exact same thing.
And what drew both of you to the music industry?
Well, started playing music in middle school and it's just non-stop. Music is everywhere and it's always been like a part of my life. So just coming here to Mesa and being a music major is really, there's no question to it. It's just a lot of fun and there's countless things that you can do with music, even though some people don't realize that.
And what about you, Sammi? What drew you to the music industry?
My parents put me in piano lessons when I was 5 years old, so I was I started in it. And my dad was a drummer, and that's exactly what I wanted to be. I didn't want to play piano, so I went and I played percussion in middle school and high school, and I tried to major in something else my first year here, and I just couldn't do it. Music drew me back.
So we're going to play a video in a little bit, but before we get to that, I just want to know, why are you learning this particular piece?
Well, we're learning it for Austin's junior recital, which he's in the video. We're learning it so we can perform it there. And it's cool being a part of his junior recital because we did a joint recital last spring. So it's cool to be able to and he didn't perform with us, but he was there helping us and cheering us along. So it's cool to be able to do this for him too.
Great. And who is the piece written by?
It was written by Mark Ford.
Nice. Is there any hidden meaning in this piece at all?
No, it's pretty straightforward. No. It's just supposed to be fun, and because it's not like most musical pieces are. Music is, you go on a stage and you perform and people clap at the end, but this one's kind of just like a little skit. So it's something that us in the studio, we don't really do stuff like that. So it's cool to be able to branch out a little bit and have some fun with this, like a silly piece like this.
Nice. What was your inspiration for this piece?
Mark Ford, in the program notes for this piece, he was sitting with him and the co-composer at a coffee shop, and they just started banging around on the coffee table with their coffee cups, and after a while, he'd already written some pieces like this, like Head Talk, which is playing with a bunch of drum heads on the floor, and then, so he already kind of had an idea for what he wanted, and he just put it through, and this one's it's more acting than the other pieces, but yeah.
Oh, great. Well, we have that video clip here with us today, so let's take a look at that and see you guys perform. Well, that was really great, you guys.
Thank you.
So, what was it like playing that piece together?
It's weird, honestly. It's really weird. It's kind of like there's a lot of split parts and there's nothing just constantly going. So everyone has to be very accurate with when they come in and when they stop playing. So playing together, like in time with each other, it can be difficult.
So, there were pieces of paper in front of you guys. Can you explain what exactly was on those papers?
So that was our sheet music, and the sheet music for this piece is different than most pieces. I mean, those aren't like typical musical instruments. So like the rhythm's the same, the rhythm's spelled out the same, but there's like various notations. What are the notations?
There's different note heads. So when we tap the top of the cup, it's like a normal note head, and then when we're flicking the bottom, it's like an X note head, or maybe it's an X on a different like line on the staff. So it's just telling us like the flick will be here. When we stomp our feet, it's another notation. So it came with a key, like the piece came with a key, so we would know what each notation meant specifically.
Okay. So, in the background, while you were playing, the Friends coffee shop is in the background. Can you explain why you guys chose that as your background?
We all love Friends. Friends is like one of our favorite shows, and that's kind of like something that brings all of us together, especially Preston, the guy in the very end. He really loves Friends, and he'll just blurt out random like Friends quotes, and it's just a fun thing for all of us to like enjoy together. So it was kind of like a no-brainer that we would use the like Central Perk background.
So, what does it take to play an entire song using just coffee cups? That must be difficult.
I mean, there's a little bit, from the composer's standpoint, there's a little bit of difficulty there. Like most chamber music like that has some sort of like alto part, some sort of soprano part, a tenor and a bass part, but it's kind of like, how do you do that with coffee cups? But it's really not super difficult because you can just go to Starbucks and you can get, a really small coffee cup is going to be our alto cup because it's the highest pitch, and then the Trente, whatever, huge, massive cup that Joel is holding is going to be our bass cup because it has a lower pitch. And then from there, I think he was just like, how many different sounds can I make with this coffee cup? So I can flick the bottom, or I can slam it on the table and crush it, but or spin the lid, and that's I think mostly he used like normal music guidelines and just put it on a different instrument.
Have you guys played any songs like this together before?
Paper bags.
Yeah, I played a piece with one of our guest faculty, and it's called Quartet for Paper Bags, and it's similar to what we were talking about with the coffee cups. Everyone has a different size bag, and the whole time we're like blowing it up, or we're tapping it against our other hand to make the rhythm part, or like stretching it was a lot of what we did, and then at the very end we popped it, so it's like extremely similar to this. And then we've also played Head Talk a few years ago, the one with the drum heads.
And the cool thing about like this type of music is that other instruments don't really get an advantage like this. Like percussion is there's such a wide variety that we get to have pieces like this with the coffee cups or paper bags or other instruments. It's just their instrument.
I watched a piece played once it was a percussion avant-garde piece, and it was played with sponges and balloons. So they were just standing up there squeaking a wet sponge against a balloon. It's pretty great.
So everyone seemed so in sync when they were playing together. How do you guys stay so connected while you're playing and make sure you all hit the cups at the same exact time?
Well, that kind of goes back to like being friends. We've all played music with each other. I mean, all of us are seniors, so we've been doing this for 4 years together, so it's been a neat experience to just be able to connect that way, and we all like understand each other's tendencies when playing music, so it makes it easier to stay together.
Nice. Can you guys tell me a little bit about Mark Ford?
Yeah, in the percussion, like, music world, he's a pretty famous composer. He also does UNT's percussion studio. So he's been there for a while, so he's pretty well known in the percussion world.
Have you played any other pieces by him?
Just Head Talk, as far as I know. I don't think there's any other pieces we've played by him.
Oh, nice. So, since you guys are percussionists, what kind of instruments do you guys play? We can start with you. What do you play?
So my favorite variety of percussion instruments is pitched instruments, so marimba, vibraphone, xylophone, all of that, because it's a very different world from the drum world, which I would consider this coffee cup drum music. So it's just it's nice to switch things up every once in a while.
Nice. What about you, Sammy?
I like playing keyboard instruments too, but I definitely started on more drum-based percussion. The hard part about percussion is that it's such a vast, we played on coffee cups, so anything can be a percussion instrument. Anything that I hit in a musical way becomes a percussion instrument. But yeah, I would definitely consider myself more of a drummer than a mallet player.
Nice. So, do you both plan on pursuing music in the future as a career?
That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. For me, I'd like music always be a part of my life, but I very much would I'd like to do different things, teach marching band or teach private lessons, but who knows?
Nice. What about you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a job outside music as long as I'm still involved in music in some way. So taking high school drum lines or teaching private lessons would be fine with me, or even working at or at a music store would be fine with me. So
nice. Do you have any advice for kids who want to pursue music in their futures?
I would just say keep going for it. It gets progressively harder, and it really depends on the teacher that you have too. If you have a good middle school teacher, or if a certain kid has a good private lessons teacher, I feel those kids are more likely to continue to do music, and if they have really supportive parents. But I think it's good for everyone and anyone to be in the music world.
I think as long as just expose yourself to new and happening things, because the music world is way bigger than we think it is. So the more you expose yourself to it, the more opportunities you have.
Nice. Thank you both for joining us today on the show, and thank you for showing us your piece. Thank you for watching One Cut. I'm Amber Wisman, and with me today was Autumn and Sammy, both percussionists here at CMU.